Coming up on Live at 6, it's Clemson weekend. We have Citrus TV reporters Ricky Sayer and Amber McElrath live by the Dome to tell us how members of campus are gearing up for the big game.
And vaping epidemic, lung-related illnesses reported in central New York, the new concerns from the Trump administration next.
And Citrus TV takes a look at highlights from the Democratic debate last night. All that and more, Live at 6 starts right now.
News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
A very warm welcome home to all our alumni coming back to campus today for homecoming weekend. Good evening, I'm Sabrina Maggiore.
And I'm Bradbury. This year's Orange Central celebrates 150 years of SU, and the school has a lot of events lined up for our alumni.
You can see some of the events right now. Starting at 6:30, the Syracuse Alumni Awards will be presented at the On Center. The awards will celebrate former students who have become leaders in their field. Citrus TV's very own Kevin Belby is receiving the Generation Orange Award, presented to a young alumni who has had a significant impact on their community and SCU.
The weekend will also include college and club reunions as well as tours of campus to celebrate how much has changed in 150 years. The weekend will close out with music from Hendricks Chapel Choir. But right now, most eyes on campus are looking towards tomorrow's primetime matchup with Clemson. Students and alumni alike have high hopes for the game despite a tough loss to Maryland last week. Citrus TV reporter Ricky Sayer is our fan correspondent for the night. He's live on the quad where students are expected to be tomorrow. Ricky?
Yeah, guys, not much happening on the quad right now. Look at those tents. This is going to be the center of the action pre-game tomorrow. A lot of fun right here on the quad. All today, I have been out talking to students, to alumni, really trying to gauge the mood of campus. And guys, I'm happy to say the mood of campus is not only white, it's orange.
So, Ricky,
but they are so good on offense now that you have a limit of time in the game to get them. And if you don't keep pace with that offense, the game is over. You know, it's almost, you got to hit them just right. It's Buster Douglas versus Tyson. If you don't hit them with the uppercut, you're going to get knocked out. It goes to third again.
So now, obviously, a big game tomorrow. It's going to be very excited. First, we're going to get to our weather anchor, but I know, obviously, tomorrow we want to see what's going on for weather, but, you know, obviously, the big question is who's going to win?
It's a big game. There's a lot of stake there. It's definitely a high-profile match. I know I'm very excited to go and see what's going on. We have our tickets, everything ready for the big game tomorrow. But before we get into that, we have...
Yeah, I know, obviously, we will not know who's going to win tomorrow's game, but first, I think we definitely can get a look of the weather for tomorrow. Citrus TV's weather anchor, Anthony Dabbundo, is here to tell us a little bit about that in just a little bit. But first, you know, it's going to be so busy. All these people are going to be lining the quads. You know, how are all these people going to get around here? I know Amber McElrath will be joining us in a little bit to talk about that aspect of the game.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on, too, in terms of, you know, we have this huge matchup, and people from all across, you know, the neighboring areas are going to come around and sort of check that out as well. So it's definitely a big game, but we're going to go and check out what the weather is going to be like for tomorrow. Anthony Dabbundo is live in studio with us. Anthony, what can we expect for the big game?
Tomorrow night's game kicks off around 7:30, but the weather throughout the day is going to be pretty inconsistent. When you wake up in the morning, you might even see some rain falling. There is supposed to be steady rain until about 9 o'clock or so. Tomorrow's high, 72 degrees, so a warm day, certainly unseasonably warm almost for Syracuse in September. But as we get into the afternoon, as we take a look here at the day planner, 11 a.m., 67, and some potentially lingering showers, 72 by 3 p.m., and then cooling off to 66 by game time. You might even see some breaks of sun heading in before the game begins. So that's the forecast for tomorrow's game. I'll have the forecast for the rest of the week coming up afterwards.
And what I think is going to happen right now, we're going to bring you right back out to the quad. We're going to speak to Ricky Sayer, our reporter. He's going to give you some more updates about what's happening for the big Clemson game. Ricky, are you with us?
Hey guys, so right now not much happening on the quad, but tomorrow it's going to be filled with people. It's the most exciting, expected event of the year.
all, complete the outfit.
It was an impulse buy for these two SU alums coming back to campus for homecoming weekend and an even bigger game.
We're really excited. We were here 2 years ago when we beat Clemson, and so we're hoping to repeat that.
Of course, a lot has changed since then. Clemson beat us in 2018, and just last weekend...
It was sad. It was a sad day when we lost.
Suddenly, SU thrown back into a familiar role.
Everyone loves an underdog.
SU was the underdog back when they faced Clemson in 2017. By the second quarter, fans like me posting to social media knowing something special was going on. And then, something every college football fan hopes to experience. So can we do it again?
Like, deep down, I believe in us.
Yeah?
Like, we've done it before, we'll do it again.
It's the last big football game under the current air-supported dome roof. Fans hoping this team takes the air out of Clemson.
The dome's going to be packed. The energy is going to be wild.
Dome's going to be rocking, so...
Yeah, 50,000 people in the dome. Should be fun.
A once-in-a-lifetime experience here.
No one outside this campus, outside this fan base, is expecting Syracuse to win tomorrow. And that's just the way they like it.
I have faith in us. I think if the world doesn't have faith in us, then, man, they're on the wrong side of the team.
So yeah, guys, I have switched into the jersey that I'm going to be wearing tomorrow. There's really just so much excitement on this campus. I am personally excited. All the people that are going to be in those tents tomorrow, they're going to be excited. It's going to be a bright campus. It's just going to be a lot of fun tomorrow.
So, Ricky, I can assume that you will definitely be at the game?
Yeah, so I will be at that gate at 4:30. That's when they're letting the students in there. You'll probably be able to find me in the first row, probably around the 20-yard line. It's going to be so much fun. And that's what's happening. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Ricky. I know that people are super excited for this game. It's all anyone around here is talking about. Campus is definitely going to be packed tomorrow with fans from all over. But what I haven't heard yet is where to park our car for that big game tomorrow. Do you know where?
Well, I don't know, but I think CitrusTV reporter Amber McElrath might know.
Yeah, I think Amber is live with us. Amber McElrath is live at the Dome. Amber, what do I need to know before I head to the Dome tomorrow?
Thanks, guys. I am live outside of the Dome. So one of the big questions is parking. If you haven't already purchased a parking pass, you can park in the University Avenue or booth parking garages for $25, or you can park on Manley for $20. Those lots will open around 3 o'clock p.m. And then if you do not want to deal with parking, we do have a variety of ride-share services with a bunch of drop-off points all around campus. Now, once you get here, the quad will be opening at 4 o'clock. There will be live music, fans all over the quad for Cuse on the Quad. And then the gates will be opening at 5 o'clock. So, if you get here and you're ready to go to the game, you can get in as soon as 5 o'clock. All of the gates will be open. And in terms of what you're going to wear, make sure you're wearing your white if you're in the student section, because you are going to have orange powder thrown on you as part of the fan experience for this game. And also, the Dome is going to be hot with all of those people in there. So you might want to wear some short sleeves because there is no air conditioning. And just one last reminder, make sure you download your mobile ticket before you head to the game because you don't want to experience any problems once you're trying to get in. Reporting live from the Dome, Amber McElrath, Citrus TV News.
And was like, do you love me? And you were like, baby, I love everybody. What are you talking about?
Well, while people will be watching at the Dome tomorrow night, you can watch Michael Che in person tonight for a night of comedy. University Union and the Traditions Commission are collaborating for the event taking place tonight at Goldstein Auditorium. Joining Michael Che on stage are Sifa Sounds and Rosebud Baker. You can still buy your tickets online using the link on your screen right now. That's boxoffice.syr.edu. Tickets are $5 for Syracuse and SUNY ESF students, $10 for alumni, and $15 for the general public. Doors open at 7:15 with the show starting at 8.
And if you haven't voted for homecoming court yet, it's not too late. Voting closes at 7:30 p.m. tonight. Here's a look at all your candidates. You can vote using the link on that screen. That's homecomingcourt.syr.edu. The king and queen will also be announced at the comedy show tonight.
If you're interested in being CPR certified, SU's Office of Ambulance and Fire Safety is offering classes to faculty, students, and staff. The class includes CPR for adults and children, as well as using an automated external defibrillator, or AED. The certification course is $50 a person to join. You can contact Paul Smith using your email on your screen right now. That's pjsmith@syr.edu. The next class is Monday afternoon from 1:30 to 4:30 in Lyman Hall.
And Syracuse alumni Sean McDonough spoke to Newhouse students earlier today. The ESPN sportscaster is receiving the George Ahrens Award at a ceremony happening right now. The annual award is the highest alumni honor at Syracuse. It recognizes alumni who have made outstanding contributions in their field. McDonough will do the play-by-play for ESPN during tomorrow's big game against Clemson.
Very exciting. You know, I graduated 35 years ago. It's hard for me to believe. This is my 35th reunion weekend, and every time I come back here, it's special, and especially when I get a chance to do an SU sporting event, in this case, one of the biggest football games, in the history of the Dome. It's really an exciting weekend for me and for my family.
While students have been able to access part of the Barnes Center at the Arch for a few weeks now, almost all of the amenities are open today for the official unveiling of the new complex. The Barnes Center has both wellness and recreation services. You can enjoy drop-in fitness classes, an indoor track, a pet therapy room, a pool, and more. Chancellor Kent Siveroon says students have been asking for this space.
The transformation, I just want to emphasize, is the result most importantly of the passion and the tenacity of our students, as have been most things at Syracuse University in its history. They advocated for programs and facilities to better integrate and support health and wellness.
Our reporter Lilia Wood got the inside scoop from the executive director.
This afternoon was the official unveiling of the Barnes Center at the Arch. We got a tour inside of all the new amenities.
It's the basketball court from the old gym.
Coy Wallach, the interim executive director of the Barnes Center at the Arch, showed us around.
It's about honoring the past, right? So as we move into a new space and create something new, how do you kind of keep tradition of where we were? So the old Archibald basketball court got completely repurposed to a ceiling.
The first half of the building is focused on health and wellness with pet therapy, health services, and a mind spa.
Located now, right? So what we've really gone to is an integrated wellness model, really trying to look at our students as a whole, right? So mind, body, spirit, soul, kind of bringing it all together.
Right by the entrance, more than 400 students stop at Otto's Juice Box each day.
It's been a super popular spot. From what I understand from our friends in food services, we're going through more than 200 pounds of fruit a day right now.
Oh my goodness, that's
it's
good
pretty
though.
cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
As we headed downstairs.
Esports is that way and weight room is that way.
Construction workers are putting the finishing touches on the esports room.
So what's really cool about esports, I think to all of us that are involved in designing this, is that we've created a space that students who might not otherwise come into the gym or the recreation building, as we've always noted on campus, now have a different spot in here for them as well.
And while you may not get to practice with the team, these courts may make you feel like you are.
As when you come up here and stand down and look at the court, you recognize the design because it's the same design that's over at the Mello Center. Yeah, so I mean, really obviously trying to represent school spirit and really give everybody a chance to really feel like the pride of being a part of the Orange family.
For the best view of a Syracuse sunset, the rock wall.
I had a bunch of folks make it to the top. It's just about 50 feet from the ground zero down at the basement up to the top.
SU alumni signed up for Orange Central this weekend have full access to all these amenities. Lilia Wood, CitrusTV News.
And while the pool may look open, it's actually the only amenity not available for use yet. Wallach said they're hoping to have it open to swimmers this weekend or early next week. For a more in-depth look at the Barnes Center, be sure to tune in to Juice and Java tomorrow morning at 11:30. The third Democratic debate took place last night. Stay tuned for our coverage of the 2020 election.
Vaping victims. The first lung-related illness has been reported in central New York. The dangers coming up.
This is a story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back. 10 candidates faced off in Houston last night for 3 hours, tackling Trump, healthcare, and each other on the debate stage at Texas Southern University. Every candidate had a message for President Trump last night.
Hate and division among us.
We have a white supremacist in the White House. I remember President Trump scoffed and said he'd like to see me making a deal with Xi Jinping. I'd like to see him making a deal with Xi Jinping.
And he is treating our farmers and our workers like poker chips in one of his bankrupt casinos. And now, President Trump, you can go back to watching Fox News.
Trump wasn't the only one the candidates took shots at. Julian Castro and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders aimed at frontrunner and former Vice President Joe Biden's political record. They also took shots at his age.
I never believed what Cheney and Bush said about Iraq.
Are you forgetting what you said 2 minutes ago? Are you forgetting already what you said just 2 minutes ago?
Quick fact check in what you just heard. Castro actually misstated what Biden had said. Overall, though, Biden's performance was stronger during this third round of debates. Bernie Sanders and Senator Elizabeth Warren's healthcare bill was critiqued by the other candidates, and just like in the previous debate, healthcare was a dominant debate topic. Immigration was another hot topic, and every candidate came out against the Trump administration's immigration policies. The next Democratic debate will be held next month in Ohio. Citrus TV will continue to cover the lead up to the Democratic primary. Tune in to Talking Points for more. Coming up, updates on the Varsity Blues scandal. Former actress Felicity Huffman becomes the first parent in the controversy to receive her sentencing. We'll have the verdict after the break.
And the verdict is in on this week's weather, too. I'll let you know how long you can expect the beautiful fall weather to stick around. Coming up after the break.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back. As we take a look at the temperatures around the region, pretty much the mid to high 60s in the southern tier here across Cortland, Ithaca, Binghamton, Elmira, and Penyon. Warmer actually in the north, Syracuse touching 70 right now, Fulton 70, and Rome 70. And as we get into tonight's forecast, it's cloudy now, but you might start to see some rain mix in as a front pulls through. 58 degrees is the low tonight, a little bit on the warmer side, typical to average, but you might see some pretty heavy winds too, 15 to 20 mile per hour winds, so it's going to be a windy one tonight with the rain heading into tomorrow. As you take a look at the 5-day forecast, 72 tomorrow with rain and showers in the morning, clearing up in the afternoon, and then an absolutely beautiful 4 days. Partly cloudy with mostly sun on Sunday, 75. Monday, might see some clouds and a potential shower in the morning, but not expecting too much rain, 68, and then 2 absolutely picture-perfect days. 72 on Tuesday, 76 on Wednesday, and sunny. No clouds, no rain to worry about in the long day forecast, and that's all I have for you now.
Thanks, Anthony. The latest in the vaping epidemic spanning the country. The president now calling for a ban of flavored e-cigarettes. I took a look at how the crisis is impacting central New York.
People are actually breathing in toxic fumes every time they put the device to their mouth.
Those toxic fumes causing a vaping-related illness to be reported in central New York, growing the total cases in the state to 34. Upstate New York Poison Director Michelle Kaliva says the trend began as a safer way to smoke.
In fairness, people were given the impression that it was okay. So people kind of jumped on this thinking it was a safe alternative.
The dangers, though, unknown, says Karen Johnson, the coordinator of the tobacco program for the Onondaga County Health Department.
So long-term research is not available at this time, but I think that we are seeing enough risk factors at this point or side effects from these products that we can assume that there is going to be some sort of long-term damage.
Now, e-cigarettes are taking over schools across the country, with 1 in 5 high school students saying they vape. College campuses adding to the trend.
It's sort of a social thing. It's just like someone else is doing it, you just kind of join in.
It's easy to find these lying around a college campus. These disposable cartridges go in an e-cigarette like this, called a Juul.
I know a few guys who are straight up just like, yeah, I'm addicted to nicotine, right? But I mean, nobody wants to say that to themselves, even if it might be true, right?
Just how bad is it? Well, each one of those disposable pods is the equivalent to a pack of cigarettes. Governor Cuomo now taking action, calling for the ban of flavored e-cigarettes. The CDC is now investigating more than 450 lung-related illnesses across the country.
What were you thinking? We raised you better than that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Moving over to the courts, new updates in the Varsity Blues scandal. Former actress Felicity Huffman becoming the first parent in the controversy to receive a sentencing. This just in a few hours ago. Huffman will spend 14 days in jail and pay a $30,000 fine. She also received 1 year of probation and 250 hours of community service.
Coming up in sports, we're looking forward to a lot of things. The most anticipated SU football game of the 21st century is tomorrow. We have our first look at the conference slate in college basketball for SU and a busy night on the Hill.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
Well, it doesn't get much bigger than this. Syracuse versus Clemson football. SU Athletics has announced its first dome sellout since 1998. Syracuse won 10 games last season. Clemson won the national championship. But a lot of the hype from this game comes organically from the last 2 times the Orange and the Tigers have shared a football field. That's 2017. SU won 4 games that year. One of them was against number 2 ranked Clemson, 27-24. Now last season, the series moved to Death Valley, and the Orange jumped out to a lead. Again, injured Clemson starting quarterback. Again, the only difference was Cuse couldn't hold on to the early advantage, and the Tigers won 27-23. Even the loss last season was an impressive showing from Syracuse, and that's how much respect Clemson garners, even from head football coach Dino Babers.
They are so good on offense.
Okay.
That you have a limited time in the game to get them. And if you don't keep pace with that offense, the game is over. You know, it's almost, you got to hit them just right. It's Buster Douglas versus Tyson. If you don't hit them with the uppercut, you're going to get knocked out. There goes that word again.
If the Tigers are Mike Tyson, Lawrence might be that right hook in the passing game. Travis Etienne in the run game is the left hook. Both are preseason All-Americans, both studs. Etienne ran for 200 yards against SU last year. Syracuse football is going to feel like Syracuse is going to feel like a football school tomorrow, but let's revisit that in February. Meanwhile, the ACC basketball schedule has been released. Here's some of the big ones. That conference opener, November 6th against the defending national champs. They come to the Dome. Boy, does that sound familiar. Then we got some big Saturday night games. Duke in early February, that's Super Bowl weekend. And finally, North Carolina visits the Dome later that month. That's all we got for sports. We'll be right back.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
On your calendar, today is no ordinary Friday. It is indeed Friday the 13th, the scariest day of the year for anyone even a little superstitious. And this time, it's even more spooky.
That's right. Today is not only Friday the 13th, it's also a full moon. This phenomenon is very rare and won't happen again for another 30 years. Unfortunately for us East Coasters, the moon will only be full after midnight, but that won't stop tonight from feeling a little extra spooky. And that's all the time we have for tonight. I'm Sabrina Maggiore.
And I'm Greg Bradbury. Have a great weekend, Syracuse.